Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 12 of Pillars of Ink, the finale of our print waiver campaign. I am Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I have been and will be your game master for one more session. Before we get into the recap and all that fun stuff and the good meat of today's session, we're going to go around and say, hey, who we are and who we're playing. Starting with Abhishek.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange, and for the final time, I'll be playing Vago Viator, aka Gwen.
Angela.
Hello there, lovelies. My name is Angela Musmogoveja. I use she, her pronouns, and for the last time, I will be playing Lucia Valette.
RJ.
I'm looking forward to this.
What's up, gamers? For the last time, it's me, RJ, here for Pillars of Ink. Today I'm playing Hale, and you know what? It's gonna be a good one.
And last but not least, we have Amber, who's also going to do our recap.
Hi, my name is Amber, and today I will be playing Mariana Cross for the last time. Question mark? I'm just kidding. Last we left our adventurers, they were headed further south, heading closer and closer to the trench. Mariana began to see landmarks that she was familiar with from her journey headed to the north, including an apple orchard that she insisted that they stop at. After getting their fill of some nice crispy apples and, of course, feeding some to Biscuit, they headed down to Slaughter's Creek to attune with the print weaver there. The print weaver, Lyra, owned a laundry that she was attending to when they arrived. When they got there, the other adventurers realized they didn't know a lot about the trench other than travelers were not welcome. So Mariana explained a little bit more when they were there, including the display that travelers were put on. Also, while they were there, the question was brought up if are there more than one traveler in the trench? Mariana, under the assumption she was only the only one, but Lyra made a comment that someone else from the trench was attuned, or from the area was attuned to her place, but wasn't formally introduced, so she's not sure. They continued to head further south, Mariana hoping to find Blue, her dog, and maybe to find a different way in, and eventually they did meet up with Blue, the bestest boy in the whole world. From there, they did have Blue lead them to a secret entrance into the trench where they were able to get into the caves and the underground tunnels where most of the trench's residents live. From there, they passed Mariana's parents' doorway, marked with the initials of her mother, her father, and of course, Blue. Stopping briefly, but continuing on, they headed all the way up through the underground to the level grounds and across the way to the meeting hall where most events took place in the town, but also where Mariana had seen travelers being taken to an underground secret staircase where she was unsure about. Sneaking in to the town hall, she realized that someone was there before they had gotten there. Matthias, the son of Octavia, the leader of the Paragons of Providence. Very quietly, Mariana was able to convince Matthias to leave them be, allow them peace here at the meeting hall. Being such close friends, he decided, yes, do what you need to do. This is not my business. And continued on his way, quietly closing the door on the way out. From there, our adventurers headed down the stairs into the unknown.
Thank you, Amber. And before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody that Printweaver is a gothic, souls-like tabletop horror game with heavy, heavy themes of death and rebirth and violence. This is the finale, so please expect that to be here in general. Some of our more specific content warnings for our game include emotional turmoil and mental degradation / amnesia with especially 2 of our players. So please protect yourself. If you need to step away, please do so. Okay. After getting to the meeting house, and after Maria has talked to Matthias about, hey, can you please leave? And he left, the 4 of you made your way underground through the entrance at the back of the meeting hall, which is also kind of also where church is not the right word. It's more or less church. It's a cult. It's fine. And you were led underground. There are occasionally sconces in the walls that are not lit. The torches there are not lit, so you are all relying on the one torch that you all have lit last session. And as you make your way further and further underground, once again, it is cold, it is damp, and it smells moist. And the whitewashed walls of the meeting hall eventually do fade away into stone and rock. When you get farther, when you finally level out and are no longer walking down like a gradual incline, you eventually do start to see off branches, most of which lead into either rooms or just empty hallways. There are some rooms with doors.
Does it look like, because the other tunnels were a bit more, they were like earthen made, is this one more person made, or is it still sort of natural looking?
It's mostly natural. A lot of the tunnels seem to be just rough hewn out of the earth, though there are sections that definitely had human hands do extra work on them. So if there was a piece jutting out, that was definitely shorn away. But a majority of it is natural.
Mariana will go and sort of just lightly touch the closest doors. Do they look like her father made these ones?
Is he the only carpenter?
I don't think she would know necessarily. I think she knows that he is one, but I mean, I'm assuming they have trebuchets and things like that for defense. So I can one person make a trebuchet? I don't know.
Yes, this is probably his handiwork. It's not anything fancy in the extra work that he put to your doorway. It's functional.
Okay. I want to try to open the closest door.
The closest door that you see is unlocked. And when you open it, there seems to be candles, some extra chairs. You've seen these a lot. They're all whitewashed and match the decor upstairs. So extra stuff.
She'll turn to everybody else. Supplies?
If there's a demand for them.
Probably wouldn't hurt, right?
We honestly don't know how many people are here that we need to rescue, so it might be a good idea to stock up.
Is there anything useful to us in here?
Not in this room, no, not really.
More furniture? Okay.
It's more so furniture, yeah.
Maybe in one of the other ones? We'll go to whatever the next closest is.
So the next closest one, empty room. But if you keep going down through past checking out the places that have actual doors, eventually you do come upon one that is locked. Also, Egg-Chen has redeemed channel points for +2, -2 to a player roll. So, you know, you all get 1 automatic success to add to any of your rolls, including myself. How about that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Screaming.
This she'll noticing that it's locked, she'll take the handle and kind of push a little harder because she knows kind of like the temperature fluctuation is gonna, shrink and swell these doors and the locks and things. Is gonna put a little weight into it.
Are you forcibly trying to open it, or are you just trying to jiggle the handle?
I think she's putting a little force into it.
So you're physically trying to break it.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, she doesn't care, I don't think. Not in this area.
Sure. You may roll. You will need. This is actually an incredibly well-made door. You're going to need. I think you'll probably need like 4 successes for this.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 3 crits.
There was a door there.
The damn. Okay. So Mariana, you force your way into this room, and you more or less break the frame where the lock was twisted into the frame. So this isn't gonna lock on the way out.
She'll turn around before she looks in. This one's unlocked.
Good job.
Vaga's just gonna give him a thumbs up, just like,
Luce begins blushing for reasons she does not understand.
You just need a strong woman. It's that easy for Luce. It is dark in this room, but you do get the sense that this is not a storeroom.
Okay.
And who's holding the torch?
It could be hell.
Okay, I couldn't remember
I
who.
assume Mariana was leading the way, but if she knows she's trying to open a door, she would have.
handed it off to someone, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Hale, when you do make your way into the room and begin shining light onto this space, you all are met with essentially an office. There is a nice rug on the floor. There are a couple bookshelves, a desk, and like a small cot. There is also the symbol of the Paragons of Providence on a nice tapestry on the wall.
Well,
Is it like on one of those like string things?
Yeah.
She'll turn it around.
Yes, you can do that.
After kind of like just taking inventory of what this room is, maybe Octavia's office? I mean, it would make sense if it was locked.
not really here to investigate her, but, don't know what we do with any missives that we find here.
Well, what if there's keys or something? Well,
That
we
would be
would
pretty
need, like,
helpful.
one less of them, I guess. Maybe we should look to see if there's anything important, useful. She might have something in here.
All right. Let's take a quick look.
All right, whoever is going to be looking, I need you to roll me a wisdom investigation check. I will say that there are 2 levels of difficulty here. There will be an easier difficulty and a harder difficulty. The first difficulty will be at 2 successes, and the second difficulty will be in the 4 to 5 range.
Get any?
So I guess I'll be using up my success here for 4 successes.
Okay. Luce or Vago, did you roll anything?
I'm actually gonna roll. So let's see.
Luce did not. Luce.
Okay.
Luce knows why we're here.
That is
She's
a 0
not interested
success.
in a why.
I think Mariana's too emotional to like really concentrate on finding things.
So the general things that you would find, no successes really needed. If you're looking around at the bed, it is well, neatly made. You also find robes, which Mariana, you would recognize as what Octavia wears at service. You would also just find a variety of books, some just really mundane, but there is also a I don't want to use the word Bible.
Holy book, I think is what I was calling
Yeah.
the other
Scripture.
one. Yeah.
Scripture, holy book, as well, that you would notice. And Mariana, you are incredibly familiar with this scripture. It basically, the Paragons of Providence worship Providence as she once was before ink corrupted her. Hail. When you look around and start rummaging, you are able to find a secret compartment in the desk. And it pops open, and you do see a book along with some missives.
Hale will quickly leaf through the missives while holding the book in one hand.
The missives are essentially correspondences between her, some names you don't recognize, but they bear the symbol, the 3-circle symbol of the Magnus of Cycles, as well as some of her own people of the Paragons of Providence. They are essentially just talking about successes or failures in specific areas of the world, specifically mentioning Vale Point, Clover Point, north of Perth, as well as some runaway experiments in the woods to the west of Perth.
Uh-oh.
Amber, you can do it.
Ah! Ah! It's happening.
Oh
Hello,
no.
everybody. You just tuned into a horror stream.
Listen.
To
Okay,
be fair,
listen.
this
We
is a
all
horror
know
Want to
campaign.
clip that for a GIF?
Oh my god, that's so funny. Hang on just a second. I'm so sorry,
Almost-
everybody.
Jesus Christ.
When you lose all your sanity in Call of Cthulhu.
Okay, hi, I'm back.
Hi.
Welcome back.
So sorry.
Amber's having camera troubles today.
Hey.
Oh god, I'm crying. Okay. This is the different kind of crying that I thought I was gonna do today.
If I'm reading the missive on Perth, would that relate to the spider people that we came across?
It doesn't say any specifics. This one, mentioning the woods to the west, mentions that they're unable to catch up with a test subject and lost track of the woman that was brought in a couple weeks ago, at least dated from according to the date that was on the missive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I can guess that's Trina. Probably. Well, it looks like Magnus of Cycles might be into a little bit of human experimentation. We
Take a
knew
look
this
at Vago.
already, no?
Yeah.
Also, I found this holding up a book.
What is it?
It's a book.
What's inside
And-
it?
Hale will quickly leaf through it.
It is a handwritten journal in very neat handwriting, matching the missive that you found on the dead paragon outside of Clover Point.
Dear diary, I am evil and very, very bad.
Oh,
I
that
hate
must
all
be Octavia's
travelers.
diary.
It's a journal, yes.
I'm gonna open the. I'm sure I have the holy book. Is this Octavia's? Does it have like property of Octavia bitch face on it or something in the inside?
No, it just has a general. It's just a general holy book. It's not stated as hers. It matches a lot of others that you've seen and have
Got it.
handled. It does not seem to have any differences than the other holy books you have handled.
What are the last entries? What do they say?
Flips to the back.
So the last couple entries essentially talk about the last couple entries specifically talk about her being a little frustrated with the Magnus of Cycles. They have not promised what they have not promised. They have not been able to achieve what they've promised that they've been able to do. It seems to have resulted in more failures than successes. It's frustration, and there's like a offhanded comment about, I don't care what they do with the ink they collect. I plan on getting rid of them anyway once they've accomplished all the tasks they've agreed to.
Oh. Well, it looks like Octavia's planning to backstab the Magnus of Cycles, but, from the little I've heard of her, this seems on par.
It's just kind of a Tuesday for Octavia, I think.
What's a Tuesday?
Are there any
Thursday.
are there any other entries you want to look at? This in general. Are there any other entries you want to look at?
Marianne will hold out her hand. May I?
Yeah, Hale will hand over the book and will stand off in a corner, keeping watch in the hallway. I'll be right back.
I'm going to look I'm going to look at the first entry and the last entry. How long ago did she start writing in this journal? Is it like a newer one, or has she been writing this for years?
She's been writing in this for years. It seems to be more or less kind of a sporadic if you look at random dates. But the first entry seems to be about 20 years ago.
I would like to look for entries around Matthias's day of birth.
Do you look at the beginning at all either?
Probably, yeah. She'll probably kind of just like trying to gauge how long she's been doing this. We'll definitely see what the first little bit's about.
First entry details some nervousness on how she was just recently promoted to the head of Paragons of Providence. So there's a little bit of anxiety, nervousness, etc., etc. Huge expectations. You know how it is. There's a couple entries after that are very similar. Services have been going well. I'm getting to know folks better on a more personal level, and so on and so forth. There is, and then like about a year after that, there's excitement saying she's pregnant. She's gonna have a kid. And then about another year roughly after that, talks about how she gave birth to her son. But the entry is very short and curt and not filled with joy. But she does mention he is tainted, but I still need to head to Clover Point. Not Clover Point, Slutter Creek.
Matthias? She'll just like kind of say his name out loud. May I hold on to this?
It's not my diary, love. Do what you want with it.
She'll tuck it into her bag, probably alongside where hers is. Felt like she needed permission to take somebody's something, just much like she needed permission to explore. So she was given permission, and she has something pretty damning.
Vago and Luce, is there anything you're doing while Hale and Mariana are rummaging through diaries and desks?
mostly just listening to see if there's anyone coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Vago will mostly be kind of paying attention to like what Mariana was talking about, so kind of hearing, kind of like seeing what all the fuss is about with the missives and the journal. So
As of right now, you don't hear anything down the hall loose. Except for like the occasional like echoing of a rock falling and hitting another rock and just echoing down the halls.
Hmm.
Can't imagine it'll be busy here this time of night, but I should probably get a move on. I don't know how they patrol down here.
All right.
I'm
What are
going
y'all? Go ahead.
to. I think Mariana's going to quickly think out loud. Okay, so this is her office. I haven't really seen anybody else come down here except for people that are assisting her. So I imagine if there's other places down here, the only one that maybe else would be down here, probably just the cells. Probably if they're holding anybody down here, I can't imagine anything else would be down here except for holding cells.
Right. Holding cells in that supply room that we came across.
right.
Quick
Yeah.
question for the party. I know that we are here to save people, but also how lethal are we going to be?
And I said, let them die and let Providence sort it out. Pauses for a while. I meant it. I don't think that anyone that truly wants to do us harm is really doing it out of good. Otherwise, they may consider why we're doing this. Anybody just down here, anybody who knows about being down here, following Octavia's orders, and to be honest, if they're following Octavia's orders, they're probably long gone.
All right. But just as a kind reminder to yourself and the rest of the party here, you don't need to stoop to their level. And
I
Hale
appreciate
will. Sorry, go ahead.
I appreciate the check and hail, but also I don't feel like I need to feel any guilt over killing people who've ruined so many lives already.
If they're so fast and willing to kill us just for who we are, I don't think there's any need for them anymore.
Hearts and minds change, but at the very moment, I think our hearts and minds are more important. So, draws out both swords, spins them.
Onward?
Onward.
As you leave Octavia's office and begin to continue making your way down these cold halls, I need everyone to make me a stealth check, please.
Holy
Do it,
shit.
my printy fingers.
So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a group check against a group perception. So I saw 3 successes already.
4 for Hale.
Okay. The 4 of you are able to quickly notice that you see a light far down at the end of the hallway. The walking is still pretty consistent. The light isn't moving very quickly, but it is heading in your direction. So this is something that is not you and likely going to be hostile if you do decide to engage. What do you do?
Put out the light quick. Is there a nearby one of those empty rooms with no doors that we can like into?
Yeah, they're actually pretty consistent. Not evenly intermittent, but like there's enough. But yeah, it's not a super big one. This one hasn't been made into like a room or anything, but it is enough for the 4 of you to cram in there.
In there, quick.
I'm sorry, I know we're trying to be serious here, but I just imagined like pulling everyone into the alley to start making out.
Wrong type of situation, RJ.
Eh?
Ayo?
What's so wrong about wanting to kiss your homies? We all pile into the closet.
This doorless closet, leaning up against the wall closest to where they're coming from. And no, they don't seem to be talking, but you do hear the sound of armor on armor as it is walking towards you. And eventually, you do see 2 full armored clad Paragons of Providence members. One of them is holding a torch as they walk past your hiding place. What do you do?
It's 2
Okay,
who are walking by?
They're gonna see her door. They're gonna see that it's broken.
Hale will look to Luce and just punch his palm.
We'll look to Vago because Vago is also very strong as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or more strength oriented. We'll like signal to Vago, just sort of do like a countdown of like 3, 2, 1. The moment they're like right about to pass, but they're not quite seeing us, just like grab them and like go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Just punch him in the back of the head. Just
Fucking just deck them, or at
I'll-
least just try and like bring them down to the
Chokehold
ground.
them.
If they're armored enough, or like a punching is not feasible, like more directly, like just try and like bring them down to the ground to try and disarm them.
Okay, are you trying to do more grappling or are you trying to do more damage?
I'll let Vago decide on that one.
Ooh,
Lewis
yeah.
is going for grapple.
oh, I bet Vago is going for the kill.
Yeah, honestly, right now they can't really afford to be discovered. Once we found our people, then we can go guns blazing. For right now, we'll stay stealthy, and I'd say Vog would also probably be going for the grapple.
Okay, in that case, I need both of you to make you have the jump on them. That's what the stealth check was for before. Since you have the jump on them, you'll be rolling with advantage. So 5 and up is what you will succeed on. So both of you, please make grapple checks.
Those are dex checks or strength checks?
Strength checks. I also need to roll. Shit. Okay, Luce, how many did you get?
3 successes on the rolls. I'm going to spend the success that we were gifted on this, because this is a critical moment. We do not need to be found out right now. They need to be taken down. So that's 4.
Right, Vago?
I got 4 successes. Just to be sure, I'm also going to spend my success that I was gifted.
Okay, so Vago, you are able to get your hands on your Paragon of Providence pretty handily. Loose, you are able to grab them for a split second, but they are able to wiggle out. You are off by 1. And they are both startled and surprised. I need everyone to roll initiative, please, as they draw their weapons.
Shit.
Here we go.
Yep.
God damn it.
I
1
know, right?
success. I
right.
was double checking that one of my dice was reading a 1 and not a 7, because that would be very different.
As
That
long
would've- yeah.
as long as y'all get at least 4 successes in the dex check, y'all are going first.
Guess what I got?
At least 4 successes.
At least 4 successes, one of which
Okay.
was a crit.
I got
Okay.
a crit too.
So, Vago, you are holding on to yours. So that one's struggling in, like, I'm assuming, like a headlock.
Yeah, probably like a headlock or some sort of guillotine choke, probably.
Okay. But you are the other one has drawn their sword and their shield. So, but y'all are first.
Okay. Let's see.
Good. Any order. Go for it.
I know what I'm doing. I'm falling back to my old staple. I'm going to spend Dex in order to try and do a
Skilled action.
I think it's skilled action. And I'm just going to I'm okay, all right, trying to be it's just basically just saying like the equivalent of like, all right, fine, if you're going to be this much of a trouble, just going to shoulder check and try and use all the momentum and all the weight of the armor to make them fall over.
Okay. So that'll be a strength check. It'll be a contested strength check.
Which I already get 1 success on because I spent 1 Dex point for this.
I've got 5 successes. Yeah, they rolled pretty good.
Jeez.
Strong.
Yeah. Like I said, these are strong folk.
Think about how strong Mariana is.
With the Dex point I spent, that puts me at 6 exactly.
Oh,
I
nice.
beat by 1.
You're shoving them onto the ground or into the wall?
I'm fucking shoving them down into the ground and just making it hard for them to get up.
Yeah. So you have shoved them onto the ground. They are on their back. Their sword arm is out to the side, but they have put their shield arm up to protect their midsection, but they are on the ground. You have shoulder checked.
Wait, I'm going to take the sword and just pull a link and just try and stab down into them.
You roll with advantage
Sweet.
because they are prone. Wish to know the
That is
success.
7 successes.
So you are doing 4 points of damage to this individual, right in between the armor, plates of armor. All right, who
It's
is
like
next?
sticking it down and just keeping it there. It's
You're
like,
Vago,
somebody,
you're like
please.
grappling.
Yeah, essentially I'm just holding the other guy down, like just trying to keep him from not moving.
They're kind of like bending backwards as you've grabbed them, and just it's like that awkward trying to like weasel out.
Mhm.
But yes, the one
Um,
that Vago's holding is grappled, so whoever attacks that one will have advantage.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my shields and just like try to like wham them on the top of the head to knock them out.
Okay.
So like non-lethal.
You're so nice.
Like, Mariana was like, yeah,
We're gonna
let Providence sort him out.
Yeah, I think Mariana was like, kill him and let God sort him out. But really, she's like, what if I know this person? You know what I mean? Like,
and which you don't know because they're
Mhm.
wearing their helms. So
True.
I'm gonna roll a check to try and withstand that.
Just one of them gasp out Mariana when
Oh,
they
wait,
see
wait.
her.
oh, it's because it's wait, what is advantage?
5 and up.
Oh,
I
never
don't know.
mind. There's a lot more. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Okay.
Nice.
In that case, you are this one that you hit that Vago is holding. You're aiming for the helm, going hard on the head. They only got 4 successes. They crumple.
Hale, seeing Mariana handling the other one with Vago holding them, looks to the one that is essentially getting sword plunged. Kind of. Are they like
Yeah.
back on the ground?
They're still on the ground. They can't get up until their turn.
Okay, cool. Would I get an advantage off of this because they're prone, or
Yes.
Well, this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna attack him. This is
Go
the
for
cold
it.
damage sword.
Are you doing it with two attacks, two-handed? Or no?
Yeah, I'll do a double attack. So this is
Alright.
just rolling it flat, right?
Flat. It'll be flat. Yeah.
Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on the cold sword, 1 crit.
Okay, so that'll be 1 damage.
And then here goes the attack with the normal sword.
Oh no.
That's another 4 successes, 3 of which are crit.
So cold damage. That is wait. This is not the cold damage one, right?
This is the regular sword.
So this will be a physical damage. So that's just doubled. So 4 successes, 3 crits. But okay, it only does 2 damage because the OB is 3, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah, so it doesn't do as much as you would have hoped. But
It's
they
still up.
still were stabbed.
Sorry,
Vago.
sorry.
So I'm assuming the guy, because of Mariana's shield bash to the head, the guy that I'm grappling is essentially just out of commission.
Yeah, I also will say that the hallways are not wide enough for 3 people to get up on the guy that Luce and Hale were hitting.
Okay.
So you might not be able to easily get a hold of him if you decide to go after him.
Yeah. Let's see. Good thing I have a bow.
Yeah.
Good thing I have a bow.
I will say it is crowded, so it will be at disadvantage.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
And they're prone.
The attempt is being made though. So
Okay,
well,
okay.
that would be flat, or I'm assuming?
Yeah, it'll be flat.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's just going to be flat disadvantage. Because it
just-
is hard. It's hard. It is
harder.
going to be harder to hit them on the ground. So
Okay, so that's
with a bow,
7 and up, right?
7
For
and up.
disadvantage? Yeah.
See what we got. How many we got? Wait, are you rolling individually? Did you
I'm just
get a
double
bunch of
checking because I
D10?
don't have a big enough space without them falling out all over the place. So I'm just making
Gotcha.
sure that I roll
The next
these.
thing we need to get you is a dice tray.
Yeah, that'll be the next thing. But you know what? Small steps. Small steps.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's 4 successes, 2 of which are crit.
Okay, so you only do 1 damage. And after you shoot up, just ping them with an arrow, they do scramble to their feet and kind of look at everyone else. Their eyes look at the person, their gaze goes to the person on the ground, they turn tail and begin to run the direction you all came. So Hale and Luce, you are within range for an attack of opportunity. So if you want to try and take advantage of that, you may do so.
Okay. Well, you know.
Luce, are you also going to
wasn't-
do an attack of op? Okay, get rolling.
I would like to say there was a guy there on 6 successes.
Are any of those crits?
One of which is a crit.
Okay. So that's total of 3 points for Hale.
Oh, sorry. 2 of them.
They have
zeros.
OB3, unfortunately.
Damn.
Sadly, I don't have advantage still, so this is only 2 successes. So my blade does not work, but Hale's does.
They flee, and they were able to flee successfully.
Damn it.
What are you all doing?
Are they within range to like try and run after them and try and tackle them to the ground?
Yeah, I can say you can get there, but you probably won't be able to attack them. You'd have to run and tackle, not run and well, you can probably
Attack.
get there. Run.
That's fine. That's fine.
Actually,
I
no,
don't
wait.
care if I can't get
Nope.
a hit in, that's fine. But if I
I
can
lied.
stop them,
because I lied because we actually haven't been doing this. We haven't had a need to do this yet.
oh,
So in combat, if you're working on a grid, you move the number of hex squares equal to your it's like 1 plus dex or something like that. I don't think you have a high enough dex to catch up with them because they have 4 dex.
Ooh.
I could definitely catch up to them.
Yeah, they speedy.
Hale is indeed the speedy boy.
Hale can. I don't think the rest of you can.
No.
Hale, are you
Okay.
going after?
He will turn to the group and say, "Get the others out of here now. I'm gonna take care of this."
I want to try to cause a distraction. There has to be some sort of.
What are you causing a distraction for? Because there's only the one unconscious on the ground and the one that's running away.
So if anybody else is on guard, I want there to be. I want to cause like confusion and chaos. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be like a bell PA system.
So you do know that there are two types of bells. There's one bell, but there's two types of ringing that the bells do in your home in the trench. The first one is to warn everybody that there's danger coming. You should get to shelter. You should get to safety. This is usually an outside force where people need to go in. And the second type of ringing is basically the opposite, which is there is an internal threat, like a monster coming in through the tunnels, or the events of like cave-ins or earthquakes, which tell people to get out. However, you have not seen a bell yet here.
Okay.
Honestly, you've probably been on bell duty before.
I will turn to Vago and Luce. And actually, I'm going to take, if you're okay with this, I'm going to take Vago's face in my hands.
Yeah, it's fine.
Find him and go. And then she'll kind of just like push him, like gently, like push him in the direction that she thinks that they should head off to. And she's going to run to the bell.
That's like above ground. Okay. Cool beans. Awesome. All right, so you're gonna have to go back the way you came, and you're gonna have to like pass Hale. So let's do Hale first. Okay. Hale.
Hello.
You have enough speed to catch up to do either a tackle or an attack.
He's gonna attack. It's a double attack.
Okay, 7 and up. Yep. They have their shield is down. It's not unequipped, but it's down, so it's gonna be OB2.
Cool. Ooh, cool. That dice is gone forever. Dang it. Okay. First one is 5 successes, 2 of which are crit.
You said 5 or 6 successes?
5 successes.
5 successes, 2 crits. So that's going to be 3 times 2 for 6.
With the cold sword.
That's the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a total of 6. They look really bad and they stumble a little bit. Oh, wait. Cold damage. Wait. Hold on. What does cold damage do?
Cool. I get some time to look for my dice.
Cold damage. Okay. So it's not double damage. But they do need to make a dex check equal to the number of successes or they're restrained.
Which means they can't move.
You got a total of 5 successes. So they got 4 successes, but what does it look like as you restrain them with cold?
Hale is running behind them and quickly sheaths his first sword, the regular one, double hands the ink sword, and extends the handle into a shaft, the blade of which curves upward into like a reaping scythe, and he just hooks an ankle and pulls back. And their feet gets frozen to the floor.
Yup, they cannot move. They're trying to move and move and move, but they cannot. And the ice like begins to creep up as well, up their legs.
He will spin this harvester's scythe above his head, and it flicks downward back into a sword as he grabs his regular one, reverse grips, and unsheaths it while slashing at the same time.
Get the other one. The other attack.
The other attack.
I will say restrain gives you advantage, so it'll put you at a flat roll.
On 5. Oh, 6s, sorry. Whew. That is 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Is this lethal or non-lethal?
It's probably pretty lethal.
It's probably pretty lethal. They fall in a very awkward way because half of their legs are frozen now, so they're just like in an awkward bent position as they are bleeding.
He will essentially that unsheathed slash pushes Hale past them a little bit. He turns around and flips the blade upward. I'm really sorry about this, and then right down the clavicle.
Yeah, yeah. Leave it at that.
Sure.
So you have one dead, one unconscious. As you take out this guard, though, Mariana runs past you.
What are you
I think
doing?
she'll skid to a stop, seeing to what's going on. Is he
Yeah.
good? I mean, she kind of like shakes it off, knowing that she doesn't have a second to think about whether it's good that he said it or not. I was gonna go. I have a question. I need some advice.
Sure.
I know this. Okay, so there are these bells that ring when there's danger. There's 2 of them. I need you to know about them in case something happens.
Oh, all right. Are you going to ring these bells?
Well, I think that everything is okay now. We can go back and help Gwen and Vago and Luce, but if something happens and we need to get people out or in, 1 bell is for people to go in their houses. 2 is for everybody to come out. If we need a distraction, I need you to know this.
1 in, 2 out. All right.
People know this. It's loud enough for everyone to hear, in case there's any danger. Internal danger, external danger. Please, in case we need it. And she'll explain like where the bells are, if he needs to get to them.
I can do that. All right.
I think we're okay for now if nobody's been told the alerts aren't going off. We should probably meet back up with the others.
Yeah.
What are you doing about this dude and his blood?
I was about to ask. We're going to need to move him.
Their office.
Hale will get behind them, 2 hands underneath their armpits, and just start yanking backwards. Noodle arms, why have you failed me?
You said you're putting him in Octavia's office. You said? Is that what it was?
That's where I would like to put him. I will help you. Put so that you're not carrying.
Luce and Vago, what are you doing with the one y'all knocked out? The other knocked out one?
Probably gonna hide them in like the spare office that we ambushed them from, like the spare little room.
Okay. Just a little
Kinda out of
corridor.
sight. Yeah.
Okay. You can do that.
Did they had a weapon on them, correct?
They did, yes. Sword and shield.
Take that. Take that.
You may
Not to take with me. I'm just like relieving them of weapons.
Good
Okay.
idea.
Putting them somewhere else in like another corridor or
Yes,
something.
because never let an armed person who's knocked out keep the armed weapons.
Don't you
keep
have
their
the
arms
ring of
straight.
strong?
I do have the Ring of Strong. I love you, Mare. Have I stated that enough? That sword is mine. Thank you.
Crazy.
3 of you have the ring of strong.
We really do.
All 4
It's
of
all-
you could have been doing like dual wielding this
It's
entire
all
time.
tanks and 1
No.
rogue.
I couldn't be because I have a 2-handed sword that I'm using as a 1-handed sword.
And you also
I'm
have a
Already
shield,
dual
right?
wielding.
Yeah, meaning
you're
you
basically
could get
dual-
your
you could
other.
deal
Well, oh
I'm
no,
still-
because
I'm
no, because
sword and boarding.
she has to use her
Yeah, you're-
Oh, yeah.
shield.
You don't
I'm
have
the
to
only one
sword
who
and
could.
board.
I'm just
I like
stubborn
the
because I
extra
want my
OP.
goddamn giant sword. But I could do that. I'm taking that other sword. Thank you.
You are welcome for the reminder. Okay, so in that case, you're hitting deeper down now that you have gotten rid of the current threat. Okay.
Yep.
As the four of you continue down, you begin to feel a little off. It begins to feel more like not a printweaver shrine. You don't get that pop. You don't get that surge of protective magic when you cross that barrier to your save point. But it's not like the rest of the trench that you've been so far, devoid of ink and magic. There is that humming in the air. Kind of almost like when in session 1, when the protections failed and at Veil Point, just that buzzing, that moment before lightning strikes.
Things here. What do you think it is?
Nothing good, that's for sure.
Continue on.
Far, as you were going through this portion, you didn't really see a lot of doors. There were like a couple offshoots of corridors that didn't have any doors in front of them. And eventually you do come across a door, a heavy wooden door. The first one you saw in a while.
You think this one's unlocked?
Only one
If it
real way
isn't-
to find out.
Yeah, if it isn't, it will be.
Try it out.
This one is actually unlocked. And this one is much different than Octavia's office, but it does seem to be a kind of workroom of some sort. There are heavy rugs on the ground, like completely covering the floor. There are a lot of workbenches with vials and glass beakers. There's multiple bookshelves with books on them. There's a heavy buzzing in the air in here too, just slightly stronger than out in the hall.
Some sort of lab?
What is that buzzing sound?
It's
Ooh,
not
I'm-
even like an auditory buzzing. It's just like a tingle on the skin, yeah, in the air.
Ugh.
It's more of a
Is-
feeling.
Is there ink in here?
There
Like,
is.
Hmm.
There seem to be some vials of ink on the counter, on some of the benches, along with several notebooks and quills and such.
Free samples. No.
I was gonna see if they can take a look at the notebooks.
Yeah. Vago, you pull up to the notebooks. They are filled with research notes and similar runes to what y'all found on the mountain north of Perth. Are you looking for anything specific?
Probably on see if they kept any like experiment logs or like any like records of like actual experiments that went on, mainly regarding Heron and Gwen.
Cool beans. Okay. So yes. It's not maybe like the first one that you find, but you do eventually find a more comprehensive record of experiment logs. They seem to be separated into two distinct categories. The first one is talking about how to move large quantities of ink for their own purposes. So there is a small purpose statement on like what the whole research is going to be about, and that basically is detailed as to move ink for number 1, be used in experiments by the Magnus of Cycles, and 2, to remove the ink from specific areas in the earth at the request of Octavia. Those researchers, those experiments that have been done, there are a couple places you don't recognize, some towns or locations that just are not familiar to anyone, at least in this area. Maybe to Luce a little bit, but nothing immediately familiar. But as you are looking at that, a couple of locations do pop out at you. The first one is experiment number 1 is Clover Point. And there is a small paragraph detailing the absolute failure and their goals were not met there. And then it does briefly describe what happened. The ink did burst forth and cause a lot of casualties. They were not able to harvest the ink in that area. The second one was noted at north of Perth, which they were able to successfully move with some casualties due to the Guardian in the area. And the third one, they make a note saying that this was not intentional on their end, but this seems to be the work of another portion of the Magnus of Cycles in Vale Point that caused an accidental pillar there with the destruction of the protections. There's also a second part of research that does talk about moving ink and creating travelers. There are 2 individuals, subject 1 and subject 2, that match yours and Heron's description. Yours is noted as the only success so far. And there's a note also mentioning that keep an eye out for subject 2 to bring them back for study. There is also one other failure that describes someone that matches Trina's description. And what happened there was the escape of the person that received Trina's prints. And they detail how the person who received Trina's prints turned into some kind of amalgamation of a monster with multiple limbs that escaped north. The last entry regarding Trina was their goal was to bring Trina north to the forest to try and find that monster to reverse the process.
Vago is taking in all of this. Mariana will have turned to Luce. Compatriot.
Ally in arms?
We as members of the Paragons of Province, the guides that to keep everyone safe, we must confiscate all this ink and dispose of it properly, yes?
Yes.
Mariana will begin to gather all the ink in this area and distribute it to everyone as much as they can carry.
Let me just roll.
Mary's like, I wasn't expecting to do a
I wasn't
loot roll today.
Actually, if it becomes apparent that you'll need ink, I'll roll later. This is the last session. I'm not going to roll for ink right now. I have 2 questions. Let's do Vago first. How you feeling, buddy, with all this information?
Wow.
And what do you tell the rest of the crew?
Well, I'll relay the whole part about myself and Heron, but I will mention the whole thing regarding what happened with Trina's prince. Did the book mention anything about Edmund?
It does mention that there is one more traveler that matches Edmund's description, but nothing has been done to him yet because he is, whenever they try to do something, he is highly physically aggressive at them with good reason. And they specifically mention in like a annoyed kind of tone that the Paragons are not helping them with Edmund.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyways,
I pulled a card to what happened to Edmund, and I'm just like, okay, this is a good card. He still has his prince.
Suppose there's some people we have to go find, yes?
Yeah.
Mariana's gonna gently
God.
just put her hands on Vago's like forearm.
I'm gonna breathe deeply, try not to lose themselves at such a critical moment right now. I'm fine. There'll be time for tears and emotions later.
Absolutely. Be fine for as long as you can, please.
Yeah.
Hale, what are you doing while Vago's reading and the other 2 are confiscating ink?
Looking around for any more doors out of this lab, keeping an ear out for anyone approaching.
Okay. So you notice 2 things that catch your attention as you are walking and looking around this room. The first one is that you do see a second door. It's kind of hard to notice from when you first enter the room. It's kind of like nestled between 2 bookcases. And the second thing you notice is that when you step down on the rug, beginning to one of the rugs getting closer to the other door, the footing beneath you like changes. You're no longer stepping on specifically rock or dirt.
He'll peel the rug back. Trapdoor.
There is no trapdoor. Instead, what you see as you peel back the rug are maybe like 1.5 foot wide. Ditch isn't the right word, but there are grates leading to another section downward. So these just metal rods keeping people from falling in. Rip if you drop your phone. But that's
That's one of my worst fears.
same.
Honestly.
Same. But that's not the part that is concerning. It's the fact that when you peel back the rug and look down at the grates, you see just this dark, slowly moving waves of ink.
There's like an underground storage of ink.
A reservoir.
What are they going to do with it?
It's a lot of ink.
And you do notice, Hale, that part of the reservoir where the grates are begin leading towards that door.
They must be using this ink to fund their experiments. there's a door behind this bookcase over here, and it looks like the ink's getting fed through.
It's not necessarily behind the bookcase. It's just
Well,
nestled between
situated.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's situated. It was hard to notice when you first walked in.
Open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll go
Our-
to open it.
How are you opening and entering?
We'll search the shelves for the Providence Bible, and then we'll just pull that because that's the obvious trigger.
Okay, not so much a trigger. Are you trying to enter quietly? I will say it is locked though.
Then no. I don't think that we're gonna be able to.
Yo, I can pick a lock. I'm dexterous.
She like pulls out her sword. So can I.
I too can pick a lock.
All right.
No. I don't give it. Okay, honestly, at this point, just a little like inside the mind of Mariana, she doesn't give a shit what happens to any of this stuff down here. If it's not volatile and like gonna explode and ruin the whole trench, tear the door down. She doesn't care. Like this is bad. This is all bad. Like, and it needs to be destroyed. And so,
Yeah,
like,
but-
if we're gonna destroy it along the way, it's gonna make our job easier later.
Yes, but also randomly bursting down a door is also loud. And considering
Yeah.
we just had to spend some time and a little bit of resources in order to deal with 2 dudes, I'd like to not have to keep dealing with pairs or trios of dudes along the way. As much as as much as both I and Luce would like to kill things right now, not the smartest approach when we need to get people out of here.
I think then I'm right. So if we're doing like a slow-mo of what's happening, I think that you see Mariana like doors locked and like go to do like she did before and just like put her body into this door. So,
Yeah, you were technically stronger than Luce, and she would not have time to react. So that goes off first.
So you're busting down the door again, Mariana?
Listen, as the Ghostbusters once said, busted makes me feel good, so I'm gonna bust down the door.
Please roll me a strength check
Okay.
as I curse out your camera.
Yeah, I know. At least it's not doing the glitching.
I don't know. That was kind of funny.
That
It was
was a
pretty
little
funny.
bit. It was a little bit
Terrifying.
funny. Oh goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5?
Yeah. You can bust down this. You can bust down this door very similarly how you did to Octavia's office.
Busted makes me feel good.
Okay, so you bust down this door. Once again, it is not subtle. It is not quiet. There is easily wooden debris strewn across in front of you as you just Kool-Aid man through this door. I did not mean to do that while you're taking a drink, Angela. I'm
I
sorry.
choked on tea.
So once again, Mariana Kool-Aid manning through the door. You bust through into this side room in this workspace of the Magnus of Cycles. And you are met with 4 members of the Magnus of Cycles.
Good.
Great.
I was gonna say they're not in corners of the room because it's more of a circular room, but evenly spaced around like a circle with runes, and there are a lot of the and underneath them is uncovered grates of ink. So they are basically situated in specific areas on this runes which are glowing slightly. And as you bust through this door, they are all immediately startled. And there is a bright flash of light from the runes on the ground before they all turn to you. Whatever they were doing interrupted.
Mariana will pull out her sword and sort of like take it and like point it around the room. So, who's dying first?
All right. Roll me. I'm assuming roll me initiative. They got 5 successes.
I got
Mm.
1.
Oh no. I got 3 successes.
I got 0 successes.
I got 2.
Okay, you are first. I do need to. Okay, so it's going to be. I need to do one other thing. So it's going to be 6 success. Party is 6 successes. So, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They also got 5 successes. So 1 second. Okay, and then Magnus. Okay, so party's first. Magnus is second. Last thing is third.
I'm sorry, last thing was
Sorry, last
that.
thing. I
Okay,
beg your pardon.
so
You'll
I'm
find
gonna
out.
ignore the fact that the blubbering thing's probably here. Or maybe it's like ink slugs. That's what I'm imagining in my brain.
Ink
Um,
slugs. Ink
can never-
slugs.
slugs.
can never escape
even at the
that.
finale, we can never escape the
You
ink
never
slug.
escape.
So Maria, which one of them? Okay, in a quick glance, which one of them looks the strongest?
They all look equally squishy.
Pretty equal. Okay, cool. She'll just go to whatever one's closest and just take a big O swing.
Smack. Okay.
The
That'll be number
smack
4.
that smiles back.
Goldfish.
With broken teeth.
Oh, that's a lot of bad rolls.
They have
1,
Obi-Wan.
2, 3, 4. That's only 4.
But they have Obi-Wan.
I know. I only got 4.
Did you
Okay,
get
so-
crit on any of those by any chance?
No.
Damn.
Oh, freaking
She used
right.
all her strength on the last quip.
Okay. So, who's next?
I guess I'll just mosey on down there and start stabbing.
Yeah.
See,
Wait,
I had a
sorry,
much more
Lawrence.
morbid thought to follow that up with. I was just about to say, hey kids, you want to see a dead body? That
Do
was
you
my
want to
thought.
see a body?
No, no.
It
No.
doesn't have to be a body.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
All right, kids,
so-
all in the pool.
Okay, so at least 3 of us are going for different ones, I'm gathering.
Just tell
Yeah.
me a number. Okay, so I'm going like northeast, west, northeast, southwest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mariana got the one closest to y'all, number 4. So just tell me which one you're all going for. 1, 2, or 3, or 4. You can also go for 4.
2.
Okay. Hit them.
Let's go for accuracy here. I'm gonna try and hit them with the cold sword.
Okay, do it up.
So,
I'm gonna say,
6 up, sorry.
Hale, you said you were going for 2?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going for 4, and I rolled 5 successes, one of which is a crit. And if they have Obi-Wan, that means I match it. So that's double, correct?
Luce, how do you completely destroy a person?
So my
Complete
thing
murder.
is, I get, was it fire or lightning when I crit, correct?
So fire will do, if they can either suffer exhaustion,
Or
and
blind.
lightning will suffer blinded. But if you just do physical damage, it will be just doubled.
Put the fear of God in them. I'm gonna have lightning.
Okay, gold beans.
Just one of them. Just
So you do not kill them outright, but they will be blinded. Which one did you go for, Luce?
4.
That's the one Mariana hit, and they are really injured. Hale.
So I got 4 successes, but 2 of them are crits.
Okay, so cold. You're doing the cold damage,
Yeah.
and you did it on which one? Number 2.
Yeah.
So they take 3 damage, but they're completely restrained.
It is a run down the stairs and a quick draw and then place back. And then instead of them just getting slashed, it's a flash freeze.
Sucks. And Vago.
Vago's probably gonna go after number 1, I think.
Okay. Perfect. Go for it.
They're just gonna take a big ol' swing with their staff.
Smack them hard.
You ever seen those scenes in like movies or shows where like you have like a big ass monster like a dragon versus like the town guard, and you just see the town guard being demolished quickly?
That's only 2 successes. I'm sad about that roll.
So you only do 1. Okay.
Vago.
So
Sad.
number 4 is blinded. I will say they just move in a random direction. Number 3 actually begins casting a spell, and they disappear.
Oh.
Sure.
What was that?
Those
You're dealing-
obscenities. Carry on.
You are dealing with spellcasters.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
no, they're fucking nerds.
they are fucking nerds. Number 2 does not do anything because they're frozen, and number 1 looks panicked. And they begin casting a spell. Unfortunately, Hale, it is at you. And
Yay!
it is a similar spell that you know as a spike. Actually, oh, this is magic, but it meets your OB.
Does it work?
Yeah, you could still do a parry on this. As this spike comes up under the ground at you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 successes.
So you are able to hit them for 2 damage. And as this happens, you all feel like a couple things happen at once. The first one is that you all hear the sound of echoing bells echoing down the tunnels. Mariana, you recognize this one as "Get the hell out from underground" signal. The second thing that happens is you are all suddenly standing like an inch deep in ink, as underneath of you, the ink underneath the bars has begun to rise and swell.
Oh no.
And this is where we are going to take a quick break, everybody. Please hydrate, pet your pets,
Great.
and we will be back soon for the second half of the finale. Bye! Hello, everybody. We are back from break with the finale of Printweaver Pillars of Ink, where we last left off of our lovely travelers coming across 4 mages of the Magnus of Cycles doing some kind of magic. And then they did some fancy schmancy taking them down, freezing a couple. And then one disappeared. And then the ink underneath of them began to swell and rise. All right, it's back to the top of the round. What are y'all doing?
Uh-oh.
To be a different way to leave this room besides the door that we came in.
There are no other entrances.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the 4 of y'all's turn. What are you doing?
Is there any of them alive left?
Yeah,
They're all alive, yeah.
They're all alive, yeah. The one is just blind, one is restrained, the 2 I think are still relatively fine.
One is invisible. I'm going to give you that.
Yeah.
But you don't know where they went.
So here's Mariana's plan. I'm gonna punch the blind one in front of me in the face. And
You
then
can
I'm
do
gonna
that.
move to the door to try to block it with my body.
You could do that, yeah. You may
Do you-
punch.
Do you need me to roll to punch a blind person in the face?
Yes, because if you at least get 2 successes, you're going to knock them out.
Cool. Let me just get rid of a couple of these here quick.
They only have 8 vitality. These are much squishier than the paragons.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, lethal or non-lethal?
Oh, not lethal. Well, no, these guys can be lethal. That's fine.
This one, the one in front of you, collapses.
Cool. Then I'll hurry towards the door and block it with my body.
Okay. Everyone else?
So there are 2 still up. So one's been knocked out, one is gone, and we don't, or has disappeared, and we don't know where they're at, and 2 are still up.
One of the 2 that are still up is frozen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Hale handle that one. It seems like he's doing a good job on that one. I'm gonna go for the one that still hasn't been hurt. I'm gonna make sure that they don't stand up, that they don't continue standing, because if one of these nerds starts casting more magic, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. Giddy up.
Mm-hmm.
5 successes, baby.
So that is a total of 4 on the one that you can see that is not dead or frozen.
Yep.
They
So
look,
he's lost half his health.
They look incredible. That one is already hit a little bit, but that
Ooh.
one is incredibly hurt as well. Hale and Vago.
Sees the ink stirring, sees the blob, looks at the Maguses.
They look panicked.
If you don't want to die, you're going to help me kill this thing.
They don't acknowledge you. They're panicking. They're straight up panicking.
Can I slap one across the face and be like, focus?
Yes. Are you actually going for damage?
No, I kind of want them to be meat shields.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. Would be strength, dexterity.
If you're gonna try to slap some sense into them, use strength.
Okay. Hail.
Did you fail?
Oh,
No, when it counts, really counts. One success, it's a crit.
I'm not gonna have them parry on you, but they do get this one. At least gets jostled out of it. They're still panicking, but they don't seem to be focused on taking you out anymore. We should run.
If that thing doesn't get us first, tail will turn and double blades out.
And Vago.
I mean, seeing how Hale has just basically slapped one of the Maguses into fighting the blob, helping us fight the Blorble. Where is the Blorble, by the way?
It's most of it is still underneath the grate, though it's slowly rising.
Okay. I think Vago's gonna hold ready for when the Blorble does come up, so they can actually whack at it.
Okay. So, one you slapped, Hale, is tentatively readying a spell. They do cast some kind of magic at it to no success. Whatever this this force that they unleash at them doesn't really seem to do much. And the one that is restrained can't really do anything, and the one that is invisible you don't see. But as this thing rises a little bit more, it doesn't go for any of you. Instead, its form encompasses the Magnus that Mariana took out and begins to completely cover it. And after a moment or so of it undulating over it, it kind of moves away, and it leaves behind a desiccated husk. And it all of a sudden just soars up several more inches, expanding. And multiple other tentacles seem to be reaching out to the rest of you, including the Magnus. So what do y'all want to do? Sorry,
So about that option to run.
All the while, the echoing of the bells is going through the hallways.
Everybody's getting out. You have to get, but if...
It can go in any order. It doesn't have to be Mariana first.
Could I question the one that I've slapped across the face?
Go
Where are
for
your
it.
prisoners?
Down the hall. Down the hall. Let me out, please.
Hale will boot them in the butt towards the exit, and he will start running down the hall where they indicated.
Mariana's gonna have to let y'all through. Mariana, do you let them through?
Yeah, because I'm assuming I can hear all this. I can see this blobby thing. I just saw it literally suck the corn off its cob.
In
What a way to phrase that! Why did you phrase it like that?
We have very questionable phrases on this in this game.
Listen, when Mare said that there was a husk left, all I thought of was corn. So that's what I thought. Anyway, yes, I will let them through. Actually, I probably will, as they're coming this way, I probably will step into the other room.
Okay, that's fair. Hale, as you run past Mariana, the Magnus that you slapped and has told you where the prisoners are, when you leave the second room of the workshop, they just kind of point down the hall, take a right, and then they turn around and begin booking it in the direction y'all came.
You'll peel off from them.
Luce, Mariana, and Vago.
Mariana's gonna yell from the other room, "Come on!" But I'm not taking my action yet.
Okay.
God
I think
damn
Vog's
it! I
gonna-
wanted to kill something.
Yeah, I know. Vog's gonna look towards Luce and like, go ahead. I might have something that can slow it down.
Chase after Hale, because I
You can
am where
absolutely. You can stab
I-
the thing.
I could stab it and then just start running down the hallway, right?
You have an action and a movement action, yeah.
True. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and hit the damn thing because I don't like the whole tentacles coming out at me. Not my thing. Respect it, not my thing. But anyways, gonna attack it, and then I'm going to end this series where I began, trying to make sure Hale is okay. It's fitting.
All right. Vog's gonna move towards the other side of the door, like not in the room, not with the blorble. How damaged is this door?
Mariana kind of just fucked it up.
Is
I
it
know what
still
you're
able
trying.
to? Is it still able to close?
I will say, since you're gonna do what I think you're going to do, it will work.
Okay. I'm going to close the door and use Heron's lock ring.
I'm assuming you're letting Luce out. Are you?
Yeah.
letting Luce out?
Once everyone's out, once everyone is out, then Gwen will be the last one out and lock the door.
My next question is: are you leaving the frozen one in there?
Yeah, they summoned it. They can deal with the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got one out. We got the answers we needed. The rest of them, yeah, they
There's
yeah.
panic and pleading in the frozen one's eyes as you pass them.
Volgerson looked at them and was like, karma.
So that's 5 successes, by the way. I don't know what the hell this thing's OB is.
It's got OB3.
This motherfucker has OB3?
That's wild.
That's
That's
it was
wild.
Well, to
Blob.
be fair,
With a
it
shield.
was- to be fair, it was juiced up via like magic,
That's true.
and that's where it kind of formed from.
taking steroids.
It's taken roids. Yes.
Steroid raging.
Incroyed?
After Vago uses lock on the door, Mariana's gonna push the bookshelf back in front of it as like an extra
Layer.
measure of not getting outness.
Okay. It will absolutely slow it down. But as a reminder, there is a grate leading from it's under both rooms. And
Yep.
it definitely and it leads into the other room. Okay. So I want to
Yeah.
let you all a reminder. All right. It'll be a loose initiative. What are we doing, homies?
Wait, we're calling this
L-O-
initiative my
L-O-
initiative?
LOOSE.
Oh, sorry. What was that,
Loose.
Angela?
Clues.
We're calling this my initiative now?
Yes.
Yes.
Look at me.
Sure.
I am the initiative now.
Hale is running down the hallway yelling for Ed and Heron.
Once they hear, like, once you start yelling and it's echoing over the bells, you do hear Edmund's familiar voice. Hale? Hale, is that you?
Skids to a stop in front of their cell. Hey!
Hey, what is going on?
Don't
Why
ask.
are you here?
A lot of things happen. There's a giant globby thing. Step back.
You know what?
And-
You know what? I'm glad to see you, okay? And your friend Edmund is in this cell. Definitely looks like he's been bruised up a little bit. But overall, okay, alive, okay?
Hale will jam the ink sword into the lock and just make it expand as fast as possible as like a form of destroying it, essentially.
It's gonna be hard. This is gonna be like, you're gonna need like 5 successes to get these folks out.
Where's Mariana when you need her?
Places. I'm gonna
Pushing
spend...
bookcases.
I'll spend 3 decks to make this work. It's 1 crit, 1 success, 2 crits, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, 2 of which are crits.
2 of which are crits. Okay. Yeah. Describe how the lock is shattered.
As I said, he focuses, and the blade of the ink sword turns needle thin, and he jams it into the lock. And then he just focuses some more, and the ink of which expands into like a great sword proportion rapidly.
When you open up the door, he looks. Your friend Edmund looks like he's about to give you a hug. Then he like pauses and like, no, we don't have time for this. Why do I feel like shit has really hit the fan?
Because that's what happened. He will toss Edmund his regular sword.
He looked like he was actually going to physically grab it from you.
Permission first. Well, all right. Listen, I have a friend whose brother's trapped here by the name of Heron.
Right there.
Oh. Skids to a stop in front of Heron. Hello. Gwyn has sent me.
Let's circle back to what everyone else is doing. Okay. Mariana, Vago, Luce.
I guess, so you did mention that there's another grate from the other room leading, there's 2 grates in both rooms, so,
Yeah. And it looks like it's, instead of trying to get through the door, it's like slowly making its way through the grate. But you do hear a strangled yell from the other room.
sorry, not sorry.
Baby, sorry. I'm not sorry.
Is there any way we can at least, like, somehow, like, block the grate with, like, some of the lab tables or anything?
Yeah.
Like, at least physically restrict access to the grate, so it doesn't have to, like, it's a harder time getting through.
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright.
Vago, let me do this. Go find your brother.
Alright, fine. Just meet us at the prison cells when you're done, alright?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
but
she's gonna.
Yeah, Gwen's gonna go run off towards the prison cells then.
And Luce.
What is my position relative to this mess? Because I was already trying to follow Hale. Am I just like
Okay, if you're
I
following
move-
Hale, then you're probably between Hale and Vago. So you probably have made it to the cells. If you were specifically following Hale.
Yeah, there is no skidding. There is just more of an abrupt stop. Where Hale slides or Hale skids, I just stop when movement. no longer continues.
You arrive just as Hale is handing over his non-magical sword to this tall black man who has whose knuckles have been bloodied, and his hair, which is normally his dreads normally pulled back, are just kind of like all over the place.
Hello there. You look like you've been through shit, and quite a lot of it.
Just a little bit.
Heron?
On the other side of the wall, the opposite wall from Edmund's cell, is another cell, which you do see a tall young man, physically very similar to Vago, who is at the bars. Like, what the fuck is all this commotion? He's like, when you like acknowledge him, he's like, yeah, this guy said Gwyn's. You're with Gwyn?
Yeah. Your sibling's with us. Your sibling is currently dealing with a rather large ink monstrosity and is coming on this way.
Great.
We'll deal with that part when we get to it. Let's get you out of here. And there's a lock on this, right?
There is. There absolutely is, yes.
Do I want to do the attractive route or the practical route here?
Do the hot route.
Okay.
Do the hot lady
Well, because
stuff.
the hot route could either
Be
be I
loose.
literally just break the damn lock off with my hands.
Yeah,
Be
just
loose,
grab
do
it,
hot.
rip it.
Try and do that.
Be
yeah.
loose. Be loose. Do
Be
hot.
hot.
Be loose, do hot.
You're welcome, everybody. Enjoy your fan fiction moment.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
saying
I need
this
to,
like I'm saying this like I'm not excited to do this as well.
that reminds me. I
Mariana's
need
like-
to put the character. I need to put the character art in the Neon Light server for everybody.
Yes.
Oh,
Mariana's like, I don't know what gay is, but I think I do now.
Okay. I am spending 3 of my strength pool as well to make this a total of 10 dice I'm rolling, because I'm assuming that this is at least a 5.
It is
To
5.
try and
Yeah,
break
it's gonna
this.
be this. It's gonna be the same as Edmund's cell.
Well, the extra dice didn't help Jack Diddley squat, but luckily my first 7 dice I had exactly 5 successes what I needed.
Absolutely
Nice.
beautiful. So, what does this
I-
look like? What? How hot is this?
I think she literally is just like, she like holds it there, and there's probably a moment of like Karen looking down. It's like, what are you trying? Do you have the keys or something? It's like, no. This will be fine. And it's just, and she just you just see her struggling, and she just like very calmly under her breath says, Alicia, please give me strength, and just rips it off of the bars. Just like, ow, fuck, this hurt. This is why I never do this. Can you fight?
Give me a weapon. If you have a weapon, I can.
Hands over the sword, the other sword that it's like, I wanted to dual wield this, but no. I know who I am. This is not my path.
He takes it.
Okay.
He doesn't look 100% confident, but competent enough in it. This is not his main weapon.
Would you rather
Yeah.
do you want something on the lighter end?
No, this is fine. This is fine. I'm not
Good
gonna be
enough for
shooting
me.
arrows around corners.
Fair enough. Good enough for me. Hale, can we get the fuck out of here now?
Oh,
Uh,
but the decor here is so welcoming. Hale starts running.
Yes. It's,
Vago.
Yes.
You make it around the corner as soon as Luce hands over a sword.
So, I see Luce handing over the sword to Heron, and it almost feels like time has sort of stopped for a second. Like, just seeing Heron. Like, they almost forget why they're here. Like, and all the urgency around them. But they sort of just start stepping down, their pace quickly increasing as they're almost running up to just almost tackle hug their brother.
In the most inefficient and the least warrior thing you're not supposed to do as a fighter is drop your weapon. But that's what he does as he sees Vago Gwyn run around the corner. And as you essentially tackle him, two familiar arms wrap around you and hold you incredibly tight. You're alive, you're okay.
So are you.
We could talk about this later. I'm glad you're okay. Let's go.
Yeah. Mhm.
Where's where's Mariana?
She's coming. She's blocking off the grate in the other one to slow it down again. I told her to meet us here.
Great.
Mariana, as you finish blocking off like a grate as much as you can with some tables, just like shoving everything off of them without a care in the world, I'm assuming. It does only so much because it is an ooze. It is gelatinous. It is able to fit through incredibly tight spaces. And surprisingly, it seems to also be much slower, be moving through rock. But it is slowed, but it does not seem to be stopping.
So Mariana's gonna flip. I'm assuming she's just like grabbing a table and flipping it over. With the strength and probably the adrenaline is just like covering them, putting stuff on top of them so they can't move. And instead of going all the way down, she's gonna step into the hallway. We don't have much time. Everybody, come on.
Okay. Are y'all running?
We running.
Oh, we running. We gone.
Y'all are running. Okay. So what happens?
Mariana's gonna make her way to the bottom of those stairs just to make sure that there's nobody there first. So like if they were to come behind me and there's somebody there, I'm already engaged with them in like protective mode.
Okay. You don't see anyone. You don't see anyone on the ramp leading up towards the meeting house. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other 5 of you are making your way through this fairly narrow hall, hearing the sound of just blorbling mass echoing. The bells have at this point stopped, but you all just smell this acidity from this ink creature. And it moves slow, but it hasn't stopped moving. But you are quicker than it. Eventually, the 5 of you make your way up to you meet where Mariana is. Far, far ahead of this ink monster.
Everyone should be outside. This is going to be a problem. I have an idea.
This Edmund speaks up. Everyone.
Everyone. The bell's ringing. That's an alarm for everyone to go outside, meaning that there's danger in the tunnels. It's going to be everyone.
That's not good.
I have an idea. I need you to just go with it, okay?
What do you mean by that's not good, Ed? Do you know something we don't?
Last time I checked, there was a lot of cursing of travelers, and they don't like people here, and if everyone's up there and we come out of nowhere, I don't see that ending well.
True.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna like what's chasing after us even less.
How long do I think I have, like, before the monster's, like, fully out of the... Like, knowing how long it was taking?
It's hard to tell because you don't know what direction it's going.
Yeah, okay. Make your way. Let's make our way to the entrance. Stand out of sight of the doorway.
Okay, just wondering though, could we not just use the tunnels we got used to get in here?
I don't know where they lead to. As far as I know, there's nothing leading to these tunnels. I don't know how long it would take us to find our way through there, if there even is a way out.
All right.
LDR, you don't know if the tunnels you're in connect to the main tunnels throughout the rest of the French.
We'll follow Mariana's lead.
Way back to like the front of the building, like the front of the town hall. I'm assuming it's like 2 doors, wall that they can kind of like hide behind.
Yeah, there is if you make your way up towards, the closer you get to the surface, the more all 4 of you hear talking and murmuring outside of the meeting hall. You hear at least more than one like baby or child like crying.
Mariana's gonna reach into her bag and take out Octavia's journal. Just stare at it for just like a brief moment. We have to cause a disruption. Something that is going to make them trust you, maybe just the moment. And they know me. And it's going to be bad because I've been gone a long time, but if they see a group of us, and she like motions to, the fellow travelers, it's not going to be good. I need you to give me just a moment alone outside of these doors.
If the situation called for it, I'd say take all the time you need. But Hale will lay 2 hands on either side of Mariana's shoulders. Say your piece. We'll go from there.
It won't be long. I'll keep it brief. Use your instincts. You all have such good instincts. You'll know when it's right to come out. I'll leave the doors open for whenever you're ready.
All right.
Luce, Vago, and Hale, how are you preparing as Mariana leaves?
Hale will turn to face the door they came out of and draw the ink blade. If we are going to be here for some time and that gel's coming through, we might as well block it.
Yeah.
Luce and Vago, are you doing anything specific?
If I was gonna look over at Heron, kind of take their hand and grip it a little bit, just kind of a little solidarity thing, but they're gonna take off their bow, Heron's bow, and hand it over to them.
You get a very grateful look as Heron hands the sword back to you, Luce. Okay.
Oh, hey Ed, quick question for you.
Is it relevant to what's happening right now?
Pretty relevant. Where was the last place you attuned to? Well, if you
I
can't
think
remember, let's try not to find
Vale
it.
Point.
Oh. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Yeah,
that's not good.
you cannot. That is not an option anymore. Is the simple way we're going to put it.
What do you mean that's not an option anymore?
It's gone.
Things sort of
The
happened.
safety
Well-
of it is gone.
Is the Print Weaver still there?
We
That's a good
don't
question.
know. We're going to go with probably not.
You hear some colorful cursing.
If things get dicey out there, Heron, Ed, you leave us.
I'll make sure this kid gets somewhere safe. At least I have a tentative backup.
Thank you.
And like it looks like Heron's gonna about to make an objection, but he's immediately cut off by Edmund. If you die, you're dead. And that just shuts him up.
People die when they are killed.
Yeah, basically.
The cure for life is death, they say.
Death is the
You're-
ultimate CC.
You're not wrong.
Oh God.
Mariana, when you open the doors and walk outside, you are met with the moonlight dancing across the trench, across the fields leading deep before the earth is cut, leading deep underground in the gorge. You are met with weapons pointed at the meeting hall as soon as you exit, but also you see the entirety of the population of the trench above ground, huddled under blankets, families holding each other as they are wondering why they are out here. They did not feel the trembles of the earth underneath them, nor were there any monsters in sight. But you are met with swords drawn at you, as well as bow and arrows. And at the head of the pack of the Paragons of Providence, you see a average height older woman with very short brown hair and cold eyes. Octavia Bessa. Mariana, please be no sudden movements.
I have an announcement to make.
How about you come over here and see your family? They've been very worried about you, and let us handle the folks that have taken you away.
I can handle them just fine, thank you. And I can see them from here. I have something very important I need to tell everyone.
The bows are drawn a little tighter.
From her side, she'll hold up her hand that has Octavia's journal in it, with her finger marked a page, and will just drop it open. Moon Day, the 4th of the harvest. My child was born. Mateus was tainted. She'll shut it and just chuck it at Octavia. This woman has lied to us our entire lives. She turns to all the young people who are soldiers or guards. She has lied to you for your children's lives. This woman who has spread vile, hatred words of how terrible ink is, how it should be torn from this earth, has been hiding a secret. Her very own son, Mateus, is consumed by the ink.
I need you to make me a will check, please. Have you used your auto success yet?
Not. With the auto success, that is 2 successes.
Okay, sorry, I'm looking for a stat block. Who are you watching as you say this?
I think I am looking Octavia right in her face. Like, especially when I read out loud what it says in her journal. And then I address, like, everyone.
She is staring directly at you. She doesn't seem to react in any rash manner as you say this. And as soon as you are done talking, she does speak as well. I've never guided you wrong. Mariana lies, already tainted by the travelers that she was swept away by. There's nothing but lies and deceit there. But as she is talking, there is an outright hostility or people beginning to fight, but there is suspicion. It's not as intense of a reaction that you were hoping for, but there is some murmuring. There are one of the other paragons of Providence picks up the book that you tossed over at her feet and begins to flip through it. And others begin to crowd Octavia, but also Matthias, almost forcefully taking off his gloves.
Hold on, and she puts up her hand, still gloved. If you are going to punish him, you are focusing your anger on the wrong person. And then she'll take off her gloves and hold out her hands. You have got this all wrong. And she'll point to Octavia, she's known for 18 years that this is in our village, but has she treated him like she's treated any of the people that we've seen tortured and tormented and killed in our meeting hall? And if she is so opposed to this being in this trench, why is she keeping an entire room full of ink down there with travelers watching over it 24 hours a day?
Make me another check, please.
That is a failure. No successes.
There is not panicked, but you do hear Octavia beginning to speak to those around her. You don't really hear what she's saying behind the murmur and increasing murmur and lowering of the crowd, but they are thoroughly distracted. You don't think you've made them turn on her, but they are distracted. And you also see Matthias beginning to slip away.
Okay. She'll turn her head and, like, not loud like she's been speaking, but loud enough for them to hear. Everyone, please. To those still in the town hall.
Where are you all going?
You all, this is the time. I think we can get out of here.
If you say so.
Listen, she'll kind of like step back so she's in the doorway so they don't have to come out. If we're gonna get out of here, this is the time. That thing, whatever it is downstairs, there's enough soldiers outside to defeat it. I have no doubt about that. A few may perish, but really, the work that we need to do is started. We need to focus on getting out.
And also, I think it already proves her guilt enough that people are going to wonder why there is a monster coming out of the meeting house of all places.
Especially since somebody else has her journal right now. She doesn't have it. I would worry more if she had it and could destroy evidence, but she can't. She doesn't have it. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to, like, slip away.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I do have to ask, though, how are you slipping away? Because the way that I described it last session is you kind of have the gorge in the middle. From the east, that's the direction of Slaughter Creek. But on the opposite gorge on the west is where the meeting house was.
We aim for the bushes.
We need to get back to how we got in, like...
That'll be the fastest point to Slaughter Creek, yeah.
So what you would need to do is get to one of the other entrances beneath the trench and head out that way. There are plenty of switchbacks leading up towards the trench, so you can definitely try and slip away. I will need everyone to roll dex checks, please.
Oh, heck through another
Yeah,
plus
heck
two,
is
minus
heck.
2.
Who is it for? That auto success.
Oh my god, I got 2 crits.
Floating,
floating.
for anyone.
floating.
I got 2 crits on 2 dice.
Nice.
That's insane.
Three.
Sometimes I feel like dice know what's happening in the game.
I got a 4 successes, no crits.
1 success.
4 successes. I spent my last dex in order. I had to spend my last dex to even get this. I'm like, we're getting out of here. I'm putting everything into this.
Yeah.
Edmund and
Hedman?
Heron. Edmund and Heron are okay too.
The ship name is Hedman.
Headman.
Uh,
Heard me?
you are all able to slip away.
God, Matthias, I don't know if he knows where to go.
I'm also
Do
rolling.
I see where he may have gone?
I need everyone to tell me heads or tails. Heads, the ooze is going up. Tails is the... If you match, it's going to go up. If you don't match, it's going to go down for the ooze.
Tails. Tails.
Tails?
Tails.
Okay, it matched.
It's going up. We're yelling timber.
You better ooze. You better dance.
You better flam.
Fuck.
No.
It's going up,
No,
we're
none
yelling
of these
Red
things
Bit.
are good. All of this is bad.
It's going up, we're yelling Red Bit.
Okay, so you go... You... You head down the switchback, not noticed by anyone. You eventually find yourself underground, where it is once again cold and damp. Away, and you hear the mutterings and yellings above from people.
Well, that can't be any good.
It's not increasing in volume, so you don't think they're coming after you. But Mariana, you can head back to your house. And you think you can figure it out from there?
Yeah. I will when we pass by, I'll open the door
Okay.
so that Blue can come out.
Your parents would not have left Blue in there.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe they're bad people secretly. I don't know.
No, Blue is not there.
But I'll open the door. I'll open the door quickly. And just look around to see if there's anything that I feel like I should do. Am I drawn to anything that I feel like I should take with me?
Where do you go? Inside the house.
I go to my parents' room to see if there's anything hidden from me. That
There's
maybe
nothing hidden, but there
they
is a... But they do have like a little end table in their room, and there are several letters that say Marianne on them.
I'm gonna leave those there.
Okay.
Is there...
There is a half-made sweater. What are you looking for?
I don't think she knows. Like, I think she's just looking for anything that feels helpful.
Your home contains whatever a home contains. But if you're looking for anything magical, there's nothing magical. The only thing that might be of interest to you would be the letters. or if you wanted to grab anything from your room.
She's going to head to the kitchen. I'm sure there's some sort of like notepad and a quill. And we'll just leave a little note that says, "I'm so sorry." And then with the M. And we'll leave.
The trek back out through the back roads takes about as much time as it did earlier when you were following Blue. Who's leading?
Probably would be being sort of familiar with the way back. Or more familiar, I guess.
When the six of you come out, you are met with Blue standing near Biscuit. And when the six of you emerge, he begins making his way towards all of you and sniffing your legs and headbutting his head into your hands, like one by one.
Mariana will turn to Edmund and Edmund and why can I not think of your
Heron?
Heron.
Edmund and
Like a
Heron.
bird.
Yes, like I was like, it's a bird, eagle. No. We'll turn to Edmund and Heron and say, "This is Blue. He's very nice. I think we should probably head back to Slaughter Point Lake Creek. We should probably head back there. Help me keep an eye out for Mateus as we head there. If he's out here, I don't know that he knows a lot about where to go."
All right.
Yeah.
Hale will begin to hitch up Biscuit while the others take a moment to themselves.
Several of you, y'all hitch up Biscuit, pile in, and begin making your way towards Slaughter Creek. Takes about a day and a half. And during this trek, Heron leans over to you first, Luce. Thank you for getting me out of there.
It was nothing. Gwen has been one of our traveling companions for quite a while, and has been a good friend to all of us. Seems only fitting that we do what we can to pay it back to them.
And Heron, at the mention of you, Gwen, looks over at you with a weak smile. A relieved, weak smile. Glad you're okay. I told you not to come back, but I'm glad you did.
So much.
Edmund is sharing like the front like seat with you, Hale. And his like arm is like when you're in a car, you throw your arm over like the passenger seat. It's kind of doing that. Took you long enough.
Hey, listen, I lost track of you and Trina inside of that forest. and I've
Speaking of
been
Trina,
Oh, she's super dead.
y-
I'm kidding,
what?
she's back home.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Your face. I've missed this.
Don't fucking joke about that. Dead is dead for her. Hale.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. She's fine. She's with Emily.
Have you been to Perth?
A couple of
Have you seen my
times.
family?
Yes. The youngling is very rambunctious still and is asking for Pawpaw. And so I plan to make good on the promise to deliver said Pawpaw back to her.
Forgot about that.
Good.
Your husband is a worried mess, which I feel slightly responsible for, so I will deliver him his husband in semi-working condition. He'll kind of take Edmund's arm from behind him and kind of wave it up and down to make sure it's still working.
I have no broken bones. I have some bruised knuckles, and I'm still healing a black eye. But
Oh yeah, I read about that. You really gave them hell down there, didn't you?
I was not letting them touch me. Whatsoever.
All joking aside, Ed, I'm very happy that you're still around.
Thanks for coming for me.
I'm a tracker. I'm supposed to find lost things.
You gotta be good at one thing, right?
Hey, asshole!
Give me some slack. Did you
What you?
spend like a good month underground? More?
I could give you some rest, and he'll take the reins from Edmund. You can close your eyes. I'll wake you up when we get to Slaughter Creek.
And he nods. Y'all will need to spend one night outside, so someone take out 60 drops of ink.
Done.
Perfect. But
Just
eventually
use that stolen ink.
it will cover it. Eventually the six of you do make it to Slaughter Creek. You left like middle of the night, so a day like dawn. Like dawn, a day and a half from now.
I think that ever since they left the trench, Marion has been silent.
Gwen's gonna tap them on the arm. Hey, are you okay?
I don't know what I did back there. I mean, I know the gravity of everything that I just said, but I don't know what that means moving forward. And I feel like I just drove the last stake in a coffin of my abilities to go back. Even if they believe me, I mean, they have the proof right there of what I said. That is a lot to heal from. And I don't know what they're going to think. Community that's spent decades and centuries disgusted at anyone who's associated with ink. Now, maybe consumed by it in their own home. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to think. I don't know what they're going to say. But I know that that's not where I want to be anymore. I think going back was the only way to know that. I just worry that now I don't know what home is. I don't know where it is. And that's just a lot to think about.
I've been doing a lot of thinking in this journey, trying to find my own quote unquote home. And given the events that just happened, I came to a realization. Home isn't a place that you are. It's not defined by where you grow up or the geography. Home is defined by the people you're with.
As soon as you
Connections.
say that, Heron kind of ruffles your hair affectionately.
We're going to chuckle a little bit, but I mean, being able to travel with all of you, I thought for so long that I didn't have a home, but I think traveling with all you made me realize that you guys are my home. And includes you too, Mariana.
I think she'll retreat back. Sort of just be isolated again. I imagine she has tried to be away from everyone during their travel back and will just remain silent, I think, for the rest of the journey to Slaughter Creek.
When you get to Slaughter Creek, where are y'all going? Are you heading right to Lyra's?
Mm.
When you get to Lyra's, as the sun is beginning to rise over the horizon, as soon as you pass over that threshold, y'all have already attuned here, but Edmund sighs relieved as he reattunes. And almost immediately, Lyra walks out and smiles at the four of you as she notices that you have company. Told you I'd be seeing you here again. She gives you a bright smile, Luce.
Well, we would be hard pressed to miss out on enjoying your fine company again.
Do you need somewhere to stay for a little bit?
Yes, it would help us out a lot. We have 2 new people to get home, and they could do with a proper place to sleep.
And a bath. No
Yeah.
offense. Come in. Come in. Hitch your horse. We'll get you some good food, some hot water, some soap. I have some clean clothes sitting around here somewhere that haven't been claimed in who knows how long from their owners. She will give you all of the above.
All right, stinky lads, you first take a bath.
Ha ha ha.
There's just a boot print now on Edmund's ass cheek as Hayla just shoved him towards the door.
Mm. Come on, friend. And he'll throw his arm over Heron's shoulders and lead him off to get clean.
Oh yeah, they probably have become pals.
They
They're
became
pals.
prison
Bonding over
besties.
We
trauma.
Prison
love a good
besties.
trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
I think that while everybody's sort of getting settled, Mariana will ask Lyra if she has a moment to step aside.
Of course, dear. What can I do for you?
There is a bit of a kerfuffle at the trench.
I'm assuming that's a kinder word than you would
Uh,
like to use.
yeah, it's kind of a shit show there. I don't really know where to start. So there's an ink monster there. I don't worry about that because I think even though they're not magical, I know what the guards and the soldiers in the trench can do, and there's gonna be some casualties there, but they'll be okay. But I worry about the consequences of ink overtaking the trench and what that means for the people there. Furthermore, um, it turns out that Octavia's son is a traveler. And I don't know how much he knows. And I worry that even though it seemed like he may have escaped the trench, he doesn't know where to go. And I did the same. I left and I was able to find my way, but he wasn't trained the same way that I was. Is there any way that we can maybe get somebody to find him?
There's some travelers in Slaughter Creek that are beginning to hit of age, where they might take off on their own. They might be looking for a quest soon. I can make sure that's one of the first quests I give.
Appreciate that very much. He has got a lot of unlearning to do. And he deserves to feel like he's understood and cared for.
We'll see.
Also, can I give you something, please?
Of course.
She is going to hand. She's going to hand Lyra her sword and her shield. I don't. I don't want these anymore. They've done a lot in the last month. I can't say I won't ever want them back, but for now, can you hold on to these for me, please? And if somebody else needs them, that's okay. They can absolutely use them, but I can't hold on to them right now.
I'll keep them safe until you are ready to take up the mantle again, so to speak.
Thank you. And she'll just stand there kind of like awkwardly for a minute. And then leave, like her presence. Like she'll stay here, but she's gonna just walk away.
Hail, Luce and Vago, is there anything you would like to do here? Anyone you'd like to speak with as you recuperate? Also, how many days are you staying?
Probably, I would like to think we give a day for what's his face?
Aaron, Edmund,
Aaron and Edmund.
Matthias.
Matthias,
Yeah.
a day for Matthias to show up at the Print Weavers, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
if that's cool with everyone.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
But after that, it's setting out for Perth, baby.
Luce and Vago, any conversations you would like to have?
I think Gwen's gonna go up to Luce. just want to say thank you.
For what?
For being my brother.
We all did that.
I know, but you're the one who actually, freed him.
If I hadn't done it, Hale would have done it, or you would have done it.
True, but you are the one who still did it, so you're the one I'm thanking.
I think we could all use a reminder of who you used to be. And I think Heron deserved to see the wonderful person that you are now as well.
You had a point there. They're gonna kind of look down at they kind of ruminate that last word before looking down at their fingertips. Person I am now, huh? They're gonna shake it off before just kind of saying their thanks once again before kind of awkwardly shuffling off again. Now having a new set of thoughts to deal with on how to what's life gonna be like now.
Great question.
Mariana, what do you just sort of keep to yourself throughout the day that we're here? Or are you waiting, trying, doing the shuffle back and forth, hoping Matthias shows up?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think she tries to avoid everyone, and but she's also sort of probably walking Slaughter Creek because it's not very big, right? It's not a very big settlement or anything.
There's more livestock than there are people, so it's kind of big inland, not necessarily people.
Mm-hmm.
It's still decently large. It's bigger than Well Hollow
Mm-hmm.
and Perth.
So I think Mariana probably goes out in the morning, goes to the entrance of town, walks the perimeter, one way and the other, kind of not super far. Probably comes back, does it at midday and end of day 2. Probably goes and talks to any traders or any people with livestock that may have left and come back, asking if they saw him. But in general, just sort of keeping to herself.
I think in that case, Luce would give you space for the most part, but during the last walk around the area would ask you, may I join you for this walk?
Of course.
So what's on your mind, dear?
Everything and nothing. Sort of flip-flops between the two.
Swear I heard you saying yesterday something about not having a home anymore.
I don't know where to call it. The trench was my home for so long. I don't know. I don't know if it is anymore. I don't think so.
Well, you know what that means, right? Means you are fully a traveler now. We all have places we stay, but I don't really think any of us have a full home. Not in the usual sense.
I don't want to do it anymore.
You don't have to.
Do you think that I could stay in Perth? Do you think they'd let me?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I don't really know how to ask.
Well, if nothing else, I need to go back to find my wife. And I can always ask her if you would like to share some space with us for a bit.
I think that would be really nice. I don't really know where else I would go.
Travel, roam around, or find a spot, find a new trade.
Besides fighting, I don't really know what I'm good at.
Well, you have time to learn now.
Do you
Alicia
think
knows a decent amount of people. I think you'll find something.
do you think my mom and dad are gonna be okay?
Would you like the comforting answer, or would you like my answer?
I think this time I need the comforting one.
I think they will miss you, and they will wonder where you are. But even just the smallest note that you left, they know you're okay, and whatever they will have to deal with, they have the solace of that one fact. And sometimes that's all you need to keep going.
Do you think if they left, they could come to Perth too? My
There'd
dad's
be a
really
lot.
good at chopping down wood.
The thing I've discovered with roaming around so many places, despite not remembering half of them at this point, is that people make space for each other. You've known a lot about keeping people out, right? It's a lot of what you grew up around, a lot of people being hurt because they weren't what was supposed to be there, right? You know what the flip side of that is? Flip side is that there's also spaces in this world, however terrible, cruel, and monstrous that it can be, where people will be delighted to make space for you, where they'll see you and they'll see someone who doesn't know where to go, or doesn't know what to do, and say, let's make their world a little bit brighter and a little bit happier. It's time for you to find out more about that.
At that, Mariana will just like unleash tears and just kind of release all of these feelings that have been pent up over these days that she knew that she was going to go back to the trench. And like all of this pain that she's sort of tried to keep to herself. And she'll just like let all of it go in this moment.
If I may gently interrupt this touching moment as y'all are having your walk around at sunset. I did roll for this to see if Matthias shows up at Slaughter Creek. In the distance, walking towards the town, you see a chubby, boy-faced young man heading towards you. And then I made another luck truck check to see if he was injured, because he does not have ink, at least to protect himself from monsters. And you do see him holding his arm.
Oh god, she's gonna just run. Just like anything she was holding in her hand is on the ground. She's just gonna bolt directly in that direction.
He does not try to bolt. He is not a running type of person.
No. He's very soft.
He is a soft boy. But he does give you a weak smile as you get closer.
Let me see it. She's pointing to his arm.
It's okay. I'm glad you're alive and okay.
Oh, of course I am. Let me see, please.
It's just a couple. He'll hold it out, and if you look at it, it's a couple deep scratches. Healable. Might scar up, but healable.
Mariana's gonna drop her bag and take out her little med kit that she got from, oh god, I don't even remember who it was. But she's gonna take that out and start to gauze, wrap, just enough to get him to Lyra.
Luce, you get a weak wave and a smile from Matthias in your direction.
Hello there, fellow traveler.
Hello.
Welcome to the world beyond.
He doesn't know how to respond to that. He just takes a deep breath and exhales.
You look like you could use a guardian or somebody to protect you.
And he just kind of shrugs.
Mariana, Matthias, come on. Let's get back. Let's get you patched up and let's get you some decent food.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
The three of you head back to Lyra's, where she is surprised but not surprised that you have come back with one more person. And do any of you ask him any questions?
Would you like something to eat?
He kind of nods.
I think Mariana is like glued to his side. Like, very protective friend. Like, overseeing his care of his wounds. Like, overseeing that he gets something to eat. Overseeing that, like, he's being taken care of.
He doesn't seem incredibly talkative in general. Do the four of you head out the next day? Next morning?
If you don't have a place to go, Matthias, there's always an opening where I'm from.
I'm a pretty good leather worker.
We could always use a good leather worker, yeah. Sure.
And Heron just kind of like holds his hand out for a high five. And he's just like, good choice in occupation.
The same goes for the rest of you. If you want to put some roots down, Perth is always welcoming.
Should we stop by Clover Point?
Might not be the best idea.
I'll take your word for it.
Mm.
Tell me what happened on our trek north.
Yeah.
As
Heron?
y'all... Sorry, go ahead.
Heron?
Yeah, Mariana?
The couple used to walk down the main street. Who are they?
The couple who used to walk down the main street? And we're at Clover Point? Um, there... There's no one who really did walk down the street, but there is a, story from home talking about two lovers that would take midnight strolls. A couple that was not really looked well upon, and it was kind of a midnight rendezvous.
But what happened to them?
The story kind of left it vague, but I know they were happy. 'Cause they got to see each other every night.
Best part. I like that ending.
When y'all begin to pack up the next morning, Lyra actually takes Matthias aside before y'all head out. And when he comes back, he has a pack of things, one of which is a tome at his hip.
If you need any help with any of that, I can maybe help you. I know a little bit.
We can talk on the way back. Well, wherever you are going. I don't really know where y'all are going, so.
I
I'll
can
fill you
tell
in.
you. I can tell you all about it on the way there. It's really nice. There's this stuff there. It's called honey. You're gonna love it.
Matthias,
Yeah.
do you still have some room in that pack of yours?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why, but I have this feeling, and she reaches to a spot in her armor, and she pulls out the light dagger. I've never been very partial to these kinds of things, and though, from what I take it, your equipment suggests you're not quite this kind of fighter and all that.
I was never good with a blade. Mariana can tell you that.
It was really bad.
Just consider it a keepsake. From one traveler to another.
I'll try not to lose it.
Don't worry. Once it's yours, I can't find it. Remarkably, I don't know where it is anymore. And just sort of tease him but teach him that, like, once he has the blade and it's in his possession now, it can really only be found by him.
Yeah. And Mariana will lean in. Besides, she might not remember it anyway. And she'll kind of like make a little like at loose.
You get a really concerned look. Edmund is actually at the top of the front of the cart. He has already hitched up Biscuit and has the reins in his hands. Unless anyone has any objections, I'll take first driving shift.
None for me.
You hit all the potholes.
Don't stop projecting yourself on me.
Hey, asshole, listen here.
You know what? It takes one to know one. All right, I hear no objections. I'm going to take first shift. Anything else you would like to do before y'all head to Perth?
Straight on till morning.
It does take like 2 weeks to get to Perth. Like, it takes some time. You have to pass through both Well Hollow. You do pass, at least in vicinity, eye shot of Clover Point and Vale Point, both of which are a mess. Vale Point at least seems to be on the mend. Maybe not with protections, but you see people. And eventually, over the course of many, many nights, many protections put on the group of you to ward off monsters and shared shifts around the fire, you make it to Perth, this lovely little town to the far north where they harvest honey and it is set by the river. There we all see as Edmund beelines it home to Ulrich and his daughter Anna. And there is a reunion. There is also a small group of nerdy looking folk watching as you drive closer and closer, headed by a much older woman leaning on a staff, watching as you all get closer. And unless there's anything else anyone else would like to do, we'll head into epilogues.
I think for the first time, Mariana will take out her braid and not immediately tie it back up.
I think for a while, Hale stays home. Just making sure everything's all right, making sure Matthias and Heron are settled in before seeking out Professor not Professor Valette?
Valette.
Valette.
Professor Valette, and he's going to offer to assist in researching the pillars.
She will give you a broad smile and give you a nod. I'll let you know what my current plans are, but I'll keep that in mind as I figure out our next steps. I might just hand this whole operation off to you.
Oh no. No.
I am way past retirement age and I have missed my wife dearly.
I'm not doing this because I think I'm qualified to it. I'm doing this because I think it'll make you and Luce happy.
Which is why it'll probably be between you and all the other researchers, it'll be in good hands.
Take care of her, please.
Of course.
Your projects are in good hands.
We'll talk in the coming days.
I think Gwyn would they think Gwyn and Heron would probably stay in Perth for a little bit, but Vago at some point would eventually take them over to meet the Sage Bands. Considering they were almost like their second family, almost. Well, third, technically. The order's kind of debatable, but in a family.
My question is for you, Gwyn. Do you let Heron know the lack of memory?
Yeah, I think that's something that would have been explained on the ride over to Perth. They had some pieces of it back, but there was still a lot to be gotten back.
There is a lot of overwhelming concern from Heron and sadness because connecting the dots, this is because of the fucking Magnus cycles. Like, you are not in any way blamed at all, but he is glad that you are alive and safe. And that's important. And when you do introduce him to the Sage Bens later, there is just so much gratitude and love that they took care of you in his absence. And he is more than happy just continuing to live your lives together and continuing to build back up what was lost.
Exactly. There is one final stop that Gwyn did want to take. Heron, a certain promise that had to be kept to a certain blacksmithing print weaver.
The Veil Point.
Yeah.
And there is just as a tearful reunion there as well.
I told you we'd be back.
You don't get a coherent answer between both Heron and Sybil's tears. But she is eternally grateful and glad that you succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right, I think.
Yeah, there's just a lot of crying. Amber?
I think Mariana will take Matthias to Emily because she knows, having given her the holy book, that Emily will understand.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll encourage Matthias to open up to Emily. And we'll let Matthias know, like, she's so, like, how kind and helpful Emily is. And we'll, of course, ask Emily's permission that it's okay for all of this. But lets Matthias know that, like, I think she apologizes immensely for what she had to do to keep him and everyone here safe. And that he deserves to be able to be free to be who he is without the judgment of anyone else, because who he is not wrong. And she will try to, in as little time as possible, tell him everything that she knows about being a traveler. Not that she gets it all right by any means, I'm sure, but we'll let him know that there are people here in Perth that can teach him and that will help him be safe.
When you tell him and apologize about what you had to do to keep you and the rest of your folks safe, he shakes his head. I'm actually kind of glad you did that. It hurt having to hide. Which I'm sure you can relate.
Just sort of smile at him.
If you didn't say anything, I'd still be hiding, not really being who I am. And while it was rough getting out of there, I don't have to hide.
You shouldn't have to. There's nothing wrong with the way that we were born, Matthias. And she'll sort of just like take his hand with his like prints now exposed and just like press her like hand against his. This is not wrong. we have been told lies after lies, and it's not fair that your own mother treated you this way. And if I could apologize enough my entire life to make up for what she's done to you, I will do it. But please know, you have so much support here, and I can't wait for you to meet Emily. She's so nice and she's so helpful, and she knows about the Paragons. And she knows what they're like. She's going to be able to help you any way she can.
Mom said she was going to help me. To cleanse me, and it always felt wrong.
You saw Aaron. That's what they did to Aaron, and Aaron didn't deserve that. Gwen didn't deserve to have that happen to him either.
Them.
Nobody in this world deserves that. I think now that they know the truth back home, it's gonna be hard. But I hope that what you did, although you didn't really ask, and what I did, that might be a catalyst for change. And even if it takes 100 years, it's going to get better.
We'll see. Fanaticism takes a long time to get to mellow out.
Well, I know 2 people there that were supportive. Maybe they can help convince everybody that it's not so bad.
We'll see. You want to introduce me to Emily?
Yeah, I do. And she'll take him over to Emily and do kind of like a brief introduction, and maybe pull Emily aside for a little bit and kind of give her like the brief rundown of what happened, and what happened at the trench.
You get a reassurance from Emily and Trina that Matthias will be well taken care of.
But then after that, Mariana's gonna go to the apiary and ask to talk to whoever is in charge of it.
And you want to work there? You become an apiarist in training.
She will help them build little bee boxes, and she'll chop down trees, and she'll make herself a little cabin. And she'll make a little door. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And she'll mark it with an M and a C and an M and a B.
And your boy, Blue, follows you the entire way. And last but not least, Luce.
I think for however long it takes, she talks with her wife to try and provide space for Mariana and Matthias, or at least to try and see if there's a way to get them a heads up, a bit of a leg up on trying to find somewhere safe to be. Maybe someone amongst Alicia's people and scholars who might be more of the magically inclined to start teaching Matthias how to work with some of the materials he has, and just processing that. But and I think she takes time just to be alone with her wife for a while, to find. I believe when we talked about it in DM's, Mara, was it a mountain cabin? I think we had discussed.
She
Or the attention?
she mentioned a mountain cabin.
I think there is. I think there is a period of time where Luce no longer wears the armor day in and day out. It's taken off. The pain in her hands returns, and there is, I think, a shame at first that happens to be bare, to be vulnerable around her wife again, around someone who she knows her, not just as a friend or as the way superficial connections can be, but who knows her worries, her concerns, the guilt that she's had, and that's ruined her. And I think there's healing. It takes a lot of time, but there's talking. There's lots of talking. And I think Lucia is with her for however many years more she lives. When things become harder for her in terms of moving around, of just taking care of herself, she's there every day. Every bit of strength that was once put to slaying creatures, she devotes to just taking care of her, lifting her up, taking her to places, helping her walk, helping her do everything that she needs to still feel and remember those really happy memories of when she was younger, and knowing that we can't do the same things we used to do, either of us, but until the very end, I'm with her. She is my love. She is my life. She is my wife. And I think when the day finally arrives, when she does pass, probably at a point she's not expecting, I think Luce has been finding with whatever few folks in whatever town is nearby in the mountains, learning how to make the coffin herself, bury her wife, find someone to make a tombstone, and I think she wanders after that point. And I like to think that the only way people remember Luce after that point is that folks, for whatever reason, if they're caught out wandering the world and there's a monster, someone shows up who's a bit terse at times, a bit not inclined for too much conversation anymore, but who firmly and strongly asks if people need a guardian. And only ever returns to that one spot, I'd say about once a year, just to spend time at that grave. And I think the last image probably that for Luce's epilogue, that there's a raven that just starts to show up every now and then when she passes by where the tombstone is, where her wife is buried. There's nothing magical about it. There's nothing super interesting. It's just there. But she smiles at it. And I think people just really know about Luce through the story of wandering traveler, a wandering guardian, who you could always know it's her because she has a sword that has the bandana on around the hilt. It's frayed, it's terrible. but still in working order. And even as she probably dies more and more times, she's no longer unhappy. And I don't think she forgets that last duty. Even if she forgets her wife's name, if she forgets what they had together, I don't think she ever forgets throughout every death, every life after that, to go back. She is a guardian till the end.
And with that, that's the end of Printweaver Pillars of Ink, everybody. We're going to go around, say hey, who we are, where you can find us, and thank you to all my players and all of our lovely viewers who went with us on this journey. I'm going to say hey, RJ go first because everyone else is crying.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I was Hale for the first and the last time. You can catch me over at the Indoor Adventures on Mondays, where we do a homebrew campaign. I'm a level 20 wizard. We're in the Astral Sea. No, actually, we're in Wild Space, and we've just recruited a pirate party to go take on a giant ball of worms that is beyond the moon. Level 20 shenanigans is fun.
What is Wild Space?
Wild Space is the space after the Astral Sea. It's essentially like our version of space.
Okay. I gotta refresh myself on some different cosmology, but okay.
It's full of space pirate vampire clowns. Those aren't separate things. Those are one singular beings.
So the ICP?
I already love that.
The Insane Clown Posse.
In space.
Actually, no, Insane Clown Pirates, not Posse.
Okay.
On
Uh,
Thursdays, we play another D&D 5e homebrew campaign, but it's all third-party content. Over at the Hype Goblins, I'm playing a barbarian druid who's just had his first kiss in a hedge maze. So we got kind of Victorian up in there. It's pretty nice.
That's
it's
cute.
Sweet. We got sucked into a fun house. Saturdays, we're playing Blades in the Dark over at GGK. I'm playing Fume, who's an alchemist, and I just blew some paralytic powder in front of somebody's face by saying, "You got a light?" We did our first job without a hitch. It was spectacular. Finally, Sundays, sadly not in the evenings anymore, but in the mornings, once again over at the Hype Goblins, where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm a sad nobleman who's avenging the death of his entire family after a combination Romeo-Juliet love story meets the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones.
I thought you were gonna say a combination pizza and Taco Bell.
Tacos and sushi and antidepressants.
So glad I wasn't the only one who thought of that.
But that's me.
Anyway, who would like to go next and follow that up?
I'll go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Amber. You can find me at most places on the internet as analog_Amber, and I am fine. I am a Twitch streamer who streams on currently Fridays and Sundays. I will be adding Mondays back to my schedule in September. And I am currently free of TTRPG. So if you need someone who makes really good facial expressions and is not afraid to look stupid on camera, let me know and I'll apply for your table.
I can probably go next. Hi everyone, my name is Bishik Matange. You can find me over on Twitter at neon_Raiden. I've had the absolute honor and privilege to be playing Vago Viator, aka Gwen. I just realized we never said Gwen's last name.
Nope. Would you like
Should
to say it now?
I would. Gwen, aka Vago Viator, aka Gwen Duskbloom.
Woohoo!
That is the most anime name I have ever fucking heard.
I'm sorry. I just came up with something super hilarious that I'll say in the after show.
But yeah, I'm a voice actor who likes talking about the nerdy side of things, especially the tokusatsu side of things. So any Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers fans, love to be able to talk with y'all. I'm gonna be able to decompress some King Otra after this, but you might also be able to hear me in an upcoming Monster Hearts 2 one shot on the Dice Fiends podcast. So stay tuned for that. But like Amber, I am also currently free of any stream TTRPG opportunities. So if you ever need anyone who is very good at reacting to lore drops in the most over emphatic way possible, feel free to let me know and I will shoot you an application.
Hello there, lovelies. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo, and for the last time, I have been playing Luz del Valle, otherwise known as Lucia Villette, the Wandering Guardian. This has been a hell of a time, everybody. You can find me running Afterlife Wandering Souls Wednesdays over on Girls Run These Worlds, where my party has just met a goddess of death transition and a fate. I literally just left them on a cliffhanger of like, by the way, the really attractive lady dressed to look like a raven with a raven plague doctor mask is a literal god. Hello. Fun things. And so that happens over on GRTW, 1 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. PST, 10 a.m. Pardon, 1 p.m. EST, 10 a.m. PST. I said that in some order correctly. You go watch the VOD. I mean, and also support Neon Lights roleplay in general by watching all of our VODs and such. But you can find me there, and I'm sure I'm on other things too, because I am also the creative director for Girls Write These Worlds, and we are going to have our fourth ever zine is going to be coming out real soon. And then after that, we're going to be starting work on our fifth zine on the theme of harvest, which, I'm super excited for because despite all evidence to the contrary, I am at times actually a nature gay, you can thank and blame my partner for that. But yeah, I've cried a lot. I've felt a lot. Thanks, Mare.
You're
Finish
welcome.
us up for go.
Love.
I'm done. Words are
Hi.
gone now.
I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky Archmage of Dice every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can find me over on Sword and Key, playing your lovely Soul Knife, Rogue, Star Druid, Centaur, Acacia in our Horizons Call D&D 5e campaign. And on Wednesdays for 3 more weeks in August, I am running a game of Magical Kitties Save the Day called Magical Kitties and the Creepy Caper Mysteries as we raise money for JDRF International as part of Team SideQuest's August fundraiser. So please join us for 3 more weeks of kitty shenanigans for charity. I will be donating $1 for every cat pun that my players make during games. So please help us reach our goal over the next couple of weeks. We will be rating Ali Peach Senpai tonight. So everybody check out the channel. Please take care of yourselves and thank you for joining us on this amazing game.